But what is missing is who is identified with that particular SIM. So we're just going full circle. The network would know if a particular SIM is put in a phone and it's used through their phone network. They would know this is coming from SIM X with 0022, whatever number it is that is identified with. It would know that, but it would not know who is using that SIM. So what we're doing is, like you say, there are dangers associated with unregistered SIM, those of terrorism in extreme cases. And these are not something that is so superfluous that we would think that it would not happen. It is happening around the world, and we are seeing it on our screens, that people are using SIMs for good things, I must say, and also they're using it for bad as well, in terms of terrorism, in terms of the frauds that some points talking about, in terms of using it for transferring monies and stuff. So when you're talking about money, nobody wants their wallet to be open. So what the best way to do that, to shut one's wallet, is to make sure that those who are using it are sure that the money that they're sending and wherever they're sending it to is going to get there without somebody else having access to it. And how best do you do that? Is by making sure that those people who are using it are identified to be the users of that particular SIM.
All right, hold it there because we have a call. Hello. We're not being fed with the sound there, but you're on a very, very good side because people need to understand this. You're really trying to tell people the very dangerous side of it, of course, and I'll allow you to continue until we have another call.
Absolutely. The dangers are that, like, but for us in the Gambia, which by no means is isolated from the rest of the world, is exactly the same things that we are experiencing with the fact that people are calling and abusing people, and marriages are actually breaking down as a result, because people are calling and husbands are suspicious of wives and wives suspicious of husbands, and people are doing this under the cover of anonymity. In that I'm calling and nobody knows who is calling, and then you can use that particular SIM, take it out and throw it away. Of course, liberalization, have a case to answer, but then again, that's a good thing, because if you liberalize the market, it means people, the competition that we are having in the Gambia is unique in the sub-region, in that based on our size, to have 4 mobile operators means that these mobile operators have to be aggressive in terms of increasing their market size. And ultimately, they will be giving out these SIM cards, which started from 500, by the way, Malik, in the days of Gamcell, and now to next to nothing or nothing. $10 to nothing. So it means obviously they have to do that to increase their market share. But the results and the dangers associated with that is people feel no sense of responsibility or no sense of ownership to these cards, and they can just put them in their SIM phones and then take them out and throw them away after using it for reasons that are not meant to be what the SIM card is actually for.
I guess we have the call now. Hello. All right. Ida, let me come to you. You are Deputy Director, Legal Licensing and Enforcement. Enforcement meaning that it is your responsibility to tell the operators that do not sell SIM card to anybody without them registering. Are you doing that?
Certainly. When this exercise first started, it was with regards to new SIM cards. So the determination that was made was to say no new SIM card should be sold without the details of the subscriber being registered. From 15th of January, this is now being extended to all SIM cards. And so the new determination is that any person with a SIM card should be registered, with an active SIM card, should be registered before the 15th of June, or the line would be disconnected.
All right. Now let's break it down to the person who hasn't registered yet, his or her SIM card. What does that person need to present to the operator?
If you're a Gambian and you need to register your SIM card, the most important thing is that you have to go in person. You cannot register a SIM card by phone or by text. Previously, when we have had to make some announcements, SIM cards were being registered electronically, which is by phone or by text. But as you can imagine, considering that the main definition of SIM card registration is to identify and verify and record the details of a subscriber, you must be presented in person so that you, the person registering you, can verify that this is Item Boop, this is the ID document that she's presented, and she's the same person. So the dangers with registering by text or by phone is that you cannot be verified to say who you say you are. And so I can call and register as, my mother or my sister or somebody else, or even somebody that I do not like. if I get access to their ID documentation, in which case if I commit a crime on that SIM card, they are held responsible. And they cannot prove that they did not register by phone or by text because it was not done in person. So we're really appealing and stressing that this must be done in person. That's the most important thing. Following which, if you're a Gambian, you can either register with your biometric ID. The national ID is null and void effective from December 31st. So anybody who registered with their national ID would need to go back and present a biometric identification, or your biometric voter's card, or your national passport, or your biometric driver's license. Those are the 4 documents you use as a Gambian. If you are not in possession of any of these documents for reasons, various reasons, what you would do in that instance is that we've also provided that each person can register 5 SIM cards per network. So if your grandmother, your uncle, your father doesn't have any of those documents, you would go to your GSM operator and register yourself as the owner of the SIM card and register them as the user of the SIM card. So it shows that you're owning the SIM card, but this person is using it. So that's just to account for people who may not yet be in possession of those documents. And also anybody under the age of 18 who's also not in possession of those documents, you would register them. An adult over that age would register them as the owner, the user, and register themselves as the owner. If you're a foreigner, then you can present your national passport, your national ID card, or your biometric ID card for non-Gambians, which is being issued by immigration. You can also present your residence permit or your alien's permit. So those are the 5 documentations as a foreigner. Also, like we said, if you're a foreigner, you don't have any of those documents, somebody can register you as the user and, of course, themselves as the owner. But like we said, you have to be very careful in how you register because you need to know that you trust them and they're responsible and they understand also the consequences of anything happening on that SIM card, which is not in line with the law.
You know, I've just thought about the diplomats in the country. How do they go about it?
Well, they would have passports. They would have a national ID from wherever they're from, so they could use any of those 2 documentation.
Very well, Ibrahima, you've heard it all from the your 2 colleagues here. I'm sure it's important. People must do it, and the kickoff date is the 15th of January. Okay. Long period for people to register. Nobody should just be passive, a laissez-faire attitude. This is for themselves, it's for their own security and their own welfare, as we've all agreed upon.
Yeah, I mean, just as Ida said, we are actually encouraging people to register from the 15th of January. It becomes almost like mandatory to do so. But it doesn't mean that you won't be able to use your SIM card from the 15th of January. You have 6 months up to June. The exercise has actually been going on for almost 8-7 months now, since April. And what has actually happened is PURA has tried to emphasize that SIM